Hi Charlotte and Gabriel. Today we're going to read a story about a little helpful tortoise called Franklin. He always likes to help people. Franklin could count by twos and tie his shoes. He liked to help Mr. Owl in the classroom, and he always lent a hand to friends and neighbors. But one day Franklin was a little too helpful. Look, he's helping Mr. Owl, the teacher, stick up all the things on the wall. Franklin's class was going on a nature walk. Mr. Owl asked everybody in the class to bring back something for the school's nature display. He reminded the students to leave living things in the woods where they belong. Then he pointed out where Franklin and his friends might find interesting nature objects. You see, he's got a map of the woods. Look, there's even a little snail in the class. Can you see? Look at all the children in the class, different animals. Franklin could hardly wait to collect something special. "Let's go this way," he said to Snail. But Snail didn't hear because he was too busy looking at fungus. Then, without asking him, Franklin scooped up Snail. "I'll give you a ride," said Franklin. Snail was startled. He hadn't finished exploring yet. Franklin just took him without asking him first, hey? Minutes later, Franklin spotted some milkweed. He put Snail down and blew on the seed pods. The seeds floated in the breeze. You see, they're fluffy, and if you blow them, they float away. "That looks like fun," thought Snail. He found a whole pod of seeds for himself, but he huffed and he puffed and nothing moved. So Snail searched until he found a pod with one small seed. He was about to blow on it when Franklin picked him up. "We're on our way," said Franklin. "I'll give you a hand, Snail." Snail sighed. He had wanted to blow on a seed too. Franklin keeps taking Snail before he's ready. There were lots of wonderful things to collect in the woods. Beaver stuffed her backpack with pine cones, leaves and rocks. "How many things do you have?" she asked Snail. "None so far," answered Snail. "I'm waiting to find something really special." Look at Franklin looking under a rock. After lunch, Bear discovered a wasp's nest. Bzzz. "Wasps sting if you bother them," warned Beaver, but Bear insisted that the nest was empty. Franklin put Snail on a log and took a closer look. Then he heard a buzzing sound. "Oh no!" he cried. A cloud of angry wasps flew out. "Run!" shouted Fox. Franklin and his friends ran screaming down the path, because wasps can sting very sore. But look at poor little Snail, still left on the log. "That was close," panted Beaver. "That's the fastest I've ever run," said Goose. "Me too," said Franklin. "How about you, Snail?" But Snail wasn't there to answer. Franklin suddenly remembered that he had left Snail behind. "Maybe the wasp stung Snail," cried Franklin. "I should have taken him with me." Franklin and his friends raced back to the nest. There was no sign of Snail and no sign of the wasps. "Snail," called Franklin. "Snail, where are you?" Snail inside the log looking at spiders and bugs. Snail had no idea that his friends were worried about him. He was busy exploring a network of termite tunnels. Snail was puzzled when he heard Franklin's frantic calls. "Here I am," said Snail as he crawled out of the log. Franklin rushed towards him. "Are you all right?" "Of course," giggled Snail. Everyone was relieved to see that Snail was safe. Snail couldn't understand all the fuss. "I'm fine," he said, "but I want to collect something." "I'll help you," said Franklin, stooping to pick up his little friend. "I can do it myself," said Snail. But Franklin insisted. Snail's head drooped and he let out a big sigh. Shame, Franklin won't let Snail do his own things. Franklin made sure he helped Snail all afternoon. When Franklin found seeds, he put them into Snail's bag. When he found beautiful stones, he kept one for himself and gave the other to Snail. He He even picked a leaf for Snail, although Snail could have done it himself. Franklin collected so many things that poor Snail could hardly move. Look at his heavy bag. When it was almost time to go back to school, Snail still hadn't collected anything that he wanted. Franklin offered to find something else. Snail was annoyed. "I want to find my own special things," he said firmly, and he set off by himself. He's tired of Franklin always helping him. Franklin was hurt and puzzled. "I just wanted to help," he told his friends. "Snail is small and he can't move very fast." "But he's good at doing things for himself," said Beaver in his own way. Rabbit pointed to the cliff Snail was climbing straight up the side. "I told you," said Beaver. "Wow," said Franklin. "It doesn't look like Snail needs my help after all." Soon Snail slid down the cliff and showed his friends a sparkling quartz crystal. Everyone oohed and ahed. "That's the best find yet," said Franklin. Snail smiled proudly. Just then Mr. Owl's whistle blew. "Better hurry back," said Beaver. Franklin started to pick up Snail, but then he stopped. "Can I give you a ride, Snail?" he asked politely. "Sure," said Snail cheerfully. "I like getting help when I really need it." Franklin ran so fast that some of his pebbles and leaves fell out of his bag. "Don't worry," said Snail. "You can have one of my crystals." "Thanks," said Franklin. Snail smiled. "I'm glad I could help." You see, you must always wait and ask people if they want help, especially little children who sometimes can't do things for themselves.